This is Don from the Don Outdoors. I am doing a review of all the equipment that I took with me on the Appalachian Trail, April 7th, 2022. I'm gonna go over all the items that I had, but I'm gonna first start off by telling you about my research first. One of the biggest things I'm doing research is looking for lightweight equipment. You don't want a heavy pack while hiking the Appalachian Trail. You try to get it as light as possible. That was one of my goals when I started. So when I actually went to Amicalola Falls and weighed my pack, it was 37 pounds, which was too heavy, but that's what I started with. In the beginning it worked for me, but later on I started to go ahead and get some of those items that I thought were not being used or were just too heavy, I got rid of. So I went down to about 35 pounds. But research is the most important thing to do before you go on the Appalachian Trail. Not just the items that you're taking, also apps. You have All Trails, you have Far Out, Garmin, and other equipment that is very important because you need to know your waypoints, where the shelters, where your water sources are at. That is very important, especially water. For me, I wasn't gonna make a shelter, I'll find a stealth camp. And also learning the PCT throw. Find what you need, what's gonna be comfortable for you. I'm gonna go ahead and restart the Appalachian Trail on March 8th of 2023. All right, let's start with the Fanny Pack. I bought a Fanny Pack so I had the accessibility right in front of me for items that I needed pretty quick, and also for different types of snacks. This is a Red Paw Fanny Pack, which is a really good Fanny Pack because it has a stretchy mesh top on the bottom and then 2 pockets, and it's waterproof, which is very nice. This stretchy material up front, I could use it for several different items. Glass case, put it in there. It's in there and it's good for my glasses, and plus I kept eyeglass cleaner inside. The essential, I won't show you the brand, but possibly some beer. Threw that in there. Look at that, couldn't see it. And also water. So when I went into town, I could use it for water and just walk around in town without a backpack, and the water would stay in that little mesh top portion. Now there's 2 compartments inside the Red Paw. What I put in there, which easy was access, was my head lantern or my headlight. I started off with another headlight, which I'll explain in just a little bit, but this is the headlight that actually was given to me because of a bear encounter. My other headlamp didn't work as good. This is a night core headlamp. It's fantastic, it's rechargeable. It's a lot brighter than the one I had before, and I'm not gonna downgrade the other one because it worked, but it just wasn't as bright. But this night core was very good, I liked it. Carried little snacks with me so I didn't have to take off my backpack. I just kept on walking to eat. Of course, the Apple earphones, kept them in here. Didn't use them that much, but they're nice when I wanted to listen to music at night or edit some videos. My chum's wallet, very thin, very light. It's a very nice material, and I kept all my credit cards, my ID, my COVID vaccination card in there, and extra cash, and also chapstick and an extra glass cleaner. This is the backpack I took with me. I'll start with the shoes to the ground cover and then the backpack. So as I go, I'll explain everything. Also, I'll add the price, what I paid for each item on the video. So I went ahead and went for the ultralight equipment. After walking 15 miles, taking off your shoes, putting these on were fantastic. So that's what I took with me, Crocs. Then I took with me, from the beginning, a ground cover for my tent. It was a ground cover that went underneath my tent. But after a while, I got rid of it. The reason why I got rid of it is because it became soaked and became heavy. And of course, with the tent that I have, which was a Zpacks Duplex, I really didn't need a ground cover. It was nice to have, but after a while, it starts to get heavy and didn't need it after a while. But that's what I started with, or from the outside. I did have a Zpacks umbrella, fantastic to have. From heavy storms, this was very essential. What I'll do is I'll just go ahead and put it up, hold it with one hand, and walk with the hiking pole with the other. Good, I'm not gonna open up in the house. Let's go to the back, rain pants. Rain pants I only use once, so I will not be taking that with me, but it's just some regular Patagonia rain pants. So I did start with those. I wore them 1 to 2 times, and then decided that I don't need them no more, so I got rid of those. I did take a Patagonia rain jacket, which was fantastic, covered the whole body, and it was really good because I didn't have no leakage in the rain jacket at all. And this was with me from the beginning. I had the Zpacks backpack rain cover. I put it over and it protected the backpack from getting soaked inside, and it was very helpful, especially when you had the umbrella over there or over you, and also the Zpacks rain cover. Most of your items stay dry within inside your backpack, so that was very good to have. Now this was important. I had a little cloth. Inside your tent, you build up humidity on the roof of the tent, and you'll feel some drops on you. So I rubbed the tent down, and that helped me out. And I just kept it in here so it could dry out while I was hiking. And that was just a little simple, quick dry washcloth. So another important item that I had with me was the water filtration system. I took the Sawyer's, which was a good filtration system. What I'll do is I'll connect the C-Knock to the Sawyer, open up, use a gravity fed, push it into a smart bottle, fill them up, and that was very good. If that didn't work, which I didn't have to use this, which was it was a water purification system, and it was called the Ion, and I'd have to use the drops, but didn't have to use this. I also had a C-Knock, which was a gift. C-Knock it's a water bladder. It's from 1, 2, and 3 liters. I had a 3 liter, which was fantastic. I'd go down, fill it up to 3 liters, come back, fill up to 2 liters on my side, and then the water up front, and also use the extra water to use for cooking. And that helped out a lot. The 2 liter, I had to go down probably twice, or fill up a bottle, bring that up with me with the 2 liter. It was great to have the 3 liter, and I was happy with that. And it's called C-Knock Outdoors, and I really enjoyed having that with me. I use the carbon fiber Zpacks hiking poles, very good. I would not go on the trail without them. I did not use the straps when I hiked. I extended them to a good height, which was level with my body. And I hike with these. I use these all the way. The only thing is I had a problem is your bike went all the way down, and I had to replace both of them. But other than that, no major problem with these. I really enjoyed it. It broke once. Of course, I fell down and broke it, and I was a knucklehead. But I was able to get a replacement, and I'll stick with these Zpacks hiking poles. Very good. And also I had the cork handles. All right, the toiletries. So I kept the toiletries in one bag. I had the toilet paper. I took the cardboard insert out, stuffed it into the bag. I had baby wipes, which was non-scented, which is very good. I think there's 15 in here. 15 baby cloths. What I'll do is I'll clean the toilet before I sit down on it, and then use one to go ahead and wipe the backside. And that was very helpful. And after I was done taking care of business, I would use the hand sanitizer after I was done taking care of business. Then if I had to run to the woods, I had a Cedar Summit shovel. Dig my 6-inch to 8-inch hole, take care of business in there, and then put it back up. And remember, this never touches the bad stuff. It just touches the dirt. You dig the hole and put the dirt back on top of it. It never touches the bad stuff. And I had that in its own pack. Basically crap. Also had some bug spray with me. This was Coleman. I started off with another brand, but the Coleman seemed to work really good, and I found that at a hiker box at one of the hospitals. On this side, I had my cooking and eating items. This side was my toiletries. So what I did is I had 2 Sea to Summit bowls. It was a cup and a bowl. So what I had in this little plastic bag, a bowl and a cup. I had my coffee in this one. This was a hot cup. Basically, it prevented me from burning my hands and had these little ridges. So when I held it, it didn't burn my hands when I drank coffee in that. And this was a little bowl that I ate my cereal or my top ramen noodles in. Just make sure you clean it good. And never put the bottom of your cup or your plate on top of the other one after you clean it. Always go on the other side and then smash it together. And the reason why you don't want to do that is because of the germs that are on the table. You don't want it hitting the surface of where you eat. If you don't know what's on top of those tables. This is my cooking pot and gas. There are several different types of gas canister. It's gas, lasts about 20 uses. Then I had the Tokes titanium cup. 2 cups would fit in there, a little bit more than 2 cups with a cap. Inside the cup itself, this is what I'd keep in here. I'd keep a little bandana cloth so I could hold the cup just in case if it was hot. Use this to grab and hold it and pour into there or pour it into it itself. Also inside there, I carry a big lighter and also the Soto burner. It was a 4-prong burner. Quick ignite. All you have to do is, you see a little spark there, attach it to your tank, turn the heat up, hit the little spark, and it'll spark and light up for you. And if it didn't, just use your big lighter. Very good to have. Also, mosquito net. I use this several times, especially sleeping inside the shelter. Sometimes the mice would walk around. So I would wear that while I slept in the shelter, and also I wore it once while the mosquitoes were pretty bad. But very good to have with you. And it's just a head mosquito net. That is a Sea to Summit mosquito net. I used a Walmart sleeping pad. The Walmart sleeping pad was about 6 feet. I cut it in half. I'd use this to sit on. And then also I use it to sleep on. Put my sleeping bag over it, and I make sure my head to my backside fit on this. So I had a little comfort inside the tent, but it actually worked pretty good. And that's what I did. And it saved me a little weight cutting it in half, and now my wife gets to use the other half. But that was my sleeping pad plus sitting pad. This was a very important item, which is I call it a snot rag. Wipe your nose, because in the wintertime, or even in the summertime when pollen came out, that was very good to have because I was wiping my nose a whole bunch. And also to rub my forehead. Also had my Garmin Mini, InReach Mini. It had waypoints. It would indicate 5, 15, or 30 minutes of waypoints where you were at, so my wife could go ahead and track me. Also, I could hit where I arrived in camp, I hit arrived, or if I was leaving camp, I hit leaving. And my wife could know that I was leaving that camp or I was gonna stay somewhere that night. Also, if I was gonna be late, I'll hit a button and it would report to my wife that I was gonna be late to a meeting point. Had hand sanitizer up here just in case after I ate or before I ate, I use that hand sanitizer. On this side, I have a water bottle in here or Gatorade, and I've used that. Well, I had another pouch here. The pouch had writing utensils, had a pen with duct tape. So I knew I had some duct tape with me, which was very essential. And that's what I kept up front here. This is the Zpacks R62. In the beginning, I had some trouble with it, and I will not be taking this with me in my March trip. And the reason why, I had a couple problems. In the beginning, this strap tore. I had to purchase these little shoulder pads, extra shoulder pads, because the shoulder straps were digging into my shoulders. And also this mesh right here, I couldn't stretch out because when this metal bent forward, the bottom portion was digging into my back. So I will have to change that out. But it was the Zpacks R62. So what I did is last thing I put in, the first thing I took out was the Zpacks Duplex tent. It was fantastic. I liked it. I didn't have no problems with it. Only once throughout the whole trip did I have water come inside. But it does have condensation inside where you have to use a cloth to clean it. I like it. But I'm going to go ahead and try a new one because my wife will be going with me on the March 2023 Appalachian Trail. And I'm going to need a bigger tent because this is actually for one person and all of his equipment or her equipment. But it's a very good, and I recommend this tent. So it's the Zpacks Duplex tent, and it's blue in color, and I really enjoyed this tent. So the way I balanced it, I put the tent on top, and then I put the food. In the beginning, I used to put the food on top, and in the beginning, what the food would do is lean left and right, and it was unbalanced. So I decided to put the food bag, which is a Hilltop food bag, and I marked it so I could identify my food bag. I put it in first, then I put the tent on top of that so it balanced the backpack. Make sure that you have a rope with the rucksack that you can go ahead and do the PC hang with it. And inside, make sure there's a couple items that you need. Of course, the food would be one, and any snacks that you have. 2 is a titanium long spoon or spork, one of the two, it doesn't matter, but that's what I had. I had the Tokes titanium spoon. And the other thing too was somewhere where you could put your trash, where it would seal and you wouldn't have the smell, because the smell would attract the bears. So when you ate out of your either Mountain House or your Peak Refuel, you fold it up, stick it in there, and close it up, and the bear couldn't smell it, and you put it back into your food bag. So the food I used was Mountain House and also Peak Refuel. So those are the 2 that I actually used, and I enjoyed eating them. And there's other items like hot ramen noodles, bacon bits, and other stuff. But I kept it all in here. Snacks, breakfast, oatmeal. The only food items I kept in here, and that's what I packed on that. I had my 5'11" puffy jacket, had my waterproof bag that had all my sleeping gear. Okay, so some of the items that I had in the winter, I got rid of when it got warmer. But I always had the pillow, and I always used this pillow while I slept, and it was a Cedar Summit pillow, which was fantastic. Military cloth gloves, I slept with those, and also I hiked with them when it wasn't raining or snowing, and kept my hands warm while I was carrying the hiking poles. I have the 5'11" thick hoodie, and I slept with that. And I'll just put the hoodie and the beanie, and I can sleep with that. Then I use your military polypros to sleep with. That's what I got in the military. And then when it was cold, I'll use my Farm to Feet socks, and then I'll put these over. When it wasn't that cold, I'll just utilize these. Now these were my backup for my 2 socks that I had, which was my Darn Tough socks. My Darn Tough socks got soaked, and they were completely soaked and my feet were looking bad, I'll change over to these. And since they were dry, I'll go ahead and use those. But that was just a backup sock also, but I use this mostly for sleeping. I use the silk liner. In the wintertime, it didn't do me good, but in the summertime, it was fantastic. So that silk liner in the wintertime, I'm gonna go ahead and go with the thermo 20-degree liner when I start in March. In the beginning, I started with a Thermarest Neo Air Uberlight sleeping pad, then I went to this one. The reason why I switched over is because I had an air bubble in my Neo Uberlight. And then I went to the Nemo and I enjoyed the Nemo, so I stuck with the Nemo. But they took care of me and they sent me a replacement, so I have a replacement of the Neo Air. But I'm working with the Nemo right now and I enjoy that one. And then of course that's the waterproof bag for that. My other bag is what I had is my clothes that were clean. So these were all my clean clothes. So I had an extra shirt, extra darn tough socks, extra underwear, which were your icebreaker underwear, which were very good, never had no chafing with it. And then my Russell shorts that I got from Walmart. Enjoy those, and they dry pretty quick. So this was my hygiene bag. I carried my toothpaste, my toothbrush, and my floss. I had a foldable toothbrush. I cut a tooth floss in half. And this is, I just took the small little toothpaste. I carried some KT tape. I carried ibuprofen and my medication that I needed. A comb. And then I also had several items in here which were first aid. I had a pain relief that I could put on my hip. I had towels, which were compact. I just add water and I wipe my feet with these during the night. And also my face, so I had several in here. Don't put too many in there because, believe it or not, it cuts down on weight. And then I had some Benadryl and some Band-Aids, but that was just my medical pack. And you can see I have an extra chapstick, some Body Glide, and a couple of baby wipes. This was my electronic bag. And I had my wires and my charger. So what I did is I had the Anchor charger, which was a 10,000 milliamp. You plugged it in and you could just go, you could plug it in. It was a Anchor charger. I'm taking these. So that's the 20 milliamp charger. It's just a regular battery pack that you charge, and then it'll give you 4 to 5 complete charges on a cell phone or any other item. Recording and doing YouTube, I went ahead and took both of them, and the cords are inside here. Also, another important item that I took with me was a flash drive. So this flash drive, you can plug into your iPhone and download the items that you recorded, and you could save on this flash drive. And then you can plug it back into a computer and download on the computer. And that is called the iDisk, which was fantastic and had enough storage to take everything out and plug into a regular laptop computer. But that was very essential, so I could have storage on my iPhone. But that was a very good item to have. I kept it inside my electronics bag. And then other cables I had in here for my Garmin InReach Mini. Then the last thing I had was the bottom of my bag. It was a full zip, 20-degree sleeping bag. and it worked for me. Sometimes it did get a little bit too cold. In the summertime, when I used it as a sleeping bag or as a regular blanket, and I wouldn't zip it up. In the wintertime, of course, I zipped it all the way up and utilized all the clothing. Now, some of the sleeping clothing that I had is I used it during the wintertime and I got rid of it during one of the warmer weather, and made my pack a little bit lighter. So I was on the Appalachian Trail. It helped me. It's stuff that I'm gonna actually stay with because I'm used to it now. And hopefully any hint or any type of thing that I use, hopefully it's gonna help you on this journey on 2023.